Here are the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the distribution of some assistance to affected families battered by torrential rains in Misamis Occidental. Due to the inclement weather, the plane carrying the president made 3 landing attempts before touching down at the Osamis City Airport. As such, the briefing was held at the airport instead of Oroquieta City. The bad weather also prevented the president from conducting ocular inspection in the area to see the extent of the devastation. After the briefing, Marcos proceeded to distribute relief goods in Tudela, Misamis Occidental, accompanied by Defense Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. Some 55.81 million pesos worth of financial assistance from the DSWD's Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation has been provided to 11,133 beneficiaries in Misamis Occidental and Misamis Oriental. So far, a total of 16,013 families were affected in 155 barangays. Of the number, 3,122 families were taking temporary shelter in 41 evacuation centers. 20 deaths have already been recorded, including 8 in Oroquieta City.
Ako'y nandito upang tignan kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari at kung ano yung mga kailangan gawin. At tiyakin na yung mga na wala sa tahanan, mga evacuee, ay nasa inyo lahat ng inyong pangangailangan. At siyempre, pagka may ganito, pagka may disaster na ganito, nagkabaha, ay unang-una, ay siyempre, sinasalba namin lahat yung mga na-stranded, dadali natin sa evacuation center. Bago yun, may pre-evacuation. Pero ito talaga, biglaan Biglaan ito, walang masyadong warning na ibigay sa atin. Dahil mukhang ganyan ngayon ang panahon. Kung minsan, kung titignan mo, maayos naman, sabi, hindi naman uulan. Biglaan na lang magkakaroon ng malaking ulan. Kaya't ganyan ang nangyari sa atin ngayon. Kaya't medyo nabigla tayo. Ngunit, nakapag-respond kaagad ang LGU. Siyempre, ang first responder lagi is the LGU. And the LGUs are the ones that are our frontliners. At the very start ng isang disaster, talaga silang una ninyong makikita. At sumunod na dyan, siyempre, inukuha lahat ng mga na hindi pa na-evacuate o biglang nadaanan ng baha. Tapos susunod dyan, siyempre, ito na yung evacuation, yung pagsuporta sa inyo. Kaya tinitiyak namin na lahat kayo na hindi pa makauwi sa inyong mga tahanan at nandito pa sa mga evacuation center ay nasusuportahan, naaalagaan, meron kayong kinakain, meron kayong tinutulugan.
Meanwhile, the National Housing Authority has been directed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to find a resettlement area for flood-affected residents in Misamis Occidental. The president visited the province to personally check the needs of the affected residents. He said the government will be sending construction materials once a relocation area is identified. Marcos also sought to improve flood control structures which serve as the first line of defense against floods and overflowing rivers. He ordered the Department of Public Works and Highways to fast-track the rehabilitation of damaged infrastructure and conduct a study on how to address the flooding in Misamis Occidental. He suggested asking for the assistance of Japan, which he said has vast experience and expertise in dealing with floods.
Yung mga partially damaged, pag pwede nang balikan, magdadala rin kami ng rebuilding material para naman maayos ninyo yung mga bahay. Yung mga completely destroyed na bahay, ay titignan natin kung pagawa na lang tayo, pwede pang magpagawa ng bago o idadali na namin sa resettlement center kung saan meron bibigay ang National Housing Authority na magbibigyan ng pagkakataon para makatira doon sa ating mga resettlement areas. Kaya patuloy ang aming ginagawa at titiyakin namin na habang nandito pa kayo, we will make sure na kayo ay lahat ng pangangailangan ninyo ay nakukuha ninyo.
The Department of Health has reminded attendees of the celebration of the Feast of the Black Nazarene or Traslacion to monitor themselves for any symptoms of COVID-19. DOH officer in charge Maria Rosaria Vergeres said anyone who would show flu-like symptoms must isolate themselves immediately and contact local officials. She also urged them to wear face masks for the next 5 days to avoid transmission of illnesses. Vergeres said the DOH must wait at least 2 weeks, the incubation period of the coronavirus, before they could determine whether the Black Nazarene feast would cause an increase in COVID-19 cases. She said several public gatherings like the campaign period and the May elections have been held before, but they were able to minimize the spread of infection. The DOH attended to a total of 1,046 health emergencies throughout the 3-day celebration of the Feast of the Black Nazarene that gathered almost 2 million people. In other news, some areas in the Visayas and Mindanao suspended classes earlier today due to bad weather caused by a low-pressure area. Classes were suspended at all levels in several areas in Cebu and several towns in Misamis Occidental, except in Lopez Haina, where only preschool and senior high school have no classes. Pag-asa spotted the LPA about 575 kilometers east of Surigao City as of 11 a.m. It will bring moderate to heavy rains with at times intense rains over eastern and central Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, and Surigao del Sur. The LPA would also bring light to moderate with at times heavy rains to the Bangsamoro region, northern Mindanao, Bicol, and the rest of Caraga and Visayas. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.